Oh well, look at that. Hot Toys finally did it. Revealed the Fire Predator from Predator Badlands, which was expected. So hopefully next is gonna be Deck. Yeah, welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's take a look here because this guy is magnificent. Let's see here. Yeah, this was unveiled a couple of hours ago. So I was actually asleep, but I saw this morning and I was like blown away on this. Again, I like obviously the whole concept a lot better than Deck. I like the obviously the mask here. I think it's fantastic. There's almost like a translucency to the dreads, which is cool. But obviously, this guy being an elder, he's a lot older than Deck. But I like that mask, man. It's almost like a bone skull here, and then there's kind of like the mask which is embedded inside, and you almost like have like some teeth right there. But yeah, the concept of this guy in general is awesome, especially with the cape. I think it's it gives him a lot more presence. This I'm not sure what material this is. Hopefully it's not leather. It looks like leather, but hopefully in time it's gonna not be an issue here. Yeah, here obviously some very nice details. You have a lot of bones on his body here, which I like. Yeah, that whole concept. Uh, Obviously we didn't see this guy too much in the movie because he was killed by Deck by at the end. Well, by Bud, should I say? Uh, His head got bit off. Here, the quills are very nicely done. Obviously, they're not separated, which those would be cool to see. I think the only way they could do that is pretty much have a separate head sculpt and then a separate head that you have his mask on. Because obviously, since you remove the mandibles to put the mask on, these would have been difficult to do if these were actually raised. Same thing in here. I think in the movie this pokes out a lot more. But as is, I'm not gonna complain too much. The design is fantastic here. Even like he's like a beard right there down below, but the sculpt very accurate to the movie. This one also has like movable eyes. You also have another interchangeable mouthpiece, which is fantastic. But this design, I mean, this is very cool. Versus how Deck looks. Hopefully, it's not too clear if Deck is gonna remain as is, or he's pretty much like a teenager and he's gonna grow and pretty much look like his father here. But look at that. This thing is impressive, especially with the cape. Very unique design. I like his armor. Very cool. Yeah, this definitely will come to the collection. Again, this is gonna be a bigger figure. You have the same stand as like the Thanos or maybe like a Bane figure. Like a not the Bane of Venom, sorry. But yeah, I like the beads here, everything. The armor looks very sharp. Uh, Fantastic. Again, in terms of pricing, I think it's about $400 or 390, which is not too bad. It's similar to like the Feral Predator. I would have loved to see maybe like a diorama base with this one. It's also interesting that they're calling him Father Predator. I think in the movie his name was like Jor or something like that. It was like a Viking name, so it's interesting. But nonetheless, I think the sculpt is fantastic. Again, it's very unique to have like predators where you have like pants. Usually they have like you see their legs. This one is pretty much covered up, which I think it's unique so far. We haven't seen a lot of them like this. Yeah, the design is fantastic. You have a sword right there. Again, this picture right here is insane. All the sculpt. I mean, these kind of look like they are separated, but they are pretty much sculpted. But again, the paint application is fantastic. It's not like the Jungle Hunter, which they kind of forgot to paint them. This looks very convincing, and the sculpt again very reptile-like, head. But yeah, awesome. Obviously, he's like an elder. But yeah, you have the wrist plates right there. He also comes with like some bloody version of these where he was fighting with Quay. So hopefully he's next. They can do the whole family here. That's gonna be cool. And at this point, we're also missing Bud, that small creature, alien creature. So I'm not sure why they haven't included him. Maybe in the future. You also have a shoulder cannon right there, which is cool. Very streamlined design. I like this one a lot. Another pick right here with the open mouth. Fantastic looking. You also have some chains. Hopefully those are die cast. It's gonna be cool to see. The mask, man. There's something about the mask. I don't know what it is, but I like it a lot. with the antlers there. I think it's a very unique design. And him having like white dreadlocks, I think it's the design is very crazy looking and good. Very when compared to deck, which is very simple, armor. This one again, you have the blood right there on the wrist blades. Yeah, the whole presence of this guy with the cape. Not sure if the cape is wired. That remain to be seen. And again, the whole size comparison here is fantastic. Again, they've the height between his father and and Deck here. I think this is very good. Obviously, Deck is supposed to be like 6 feet tall. Again, not 100% sure if he's gonna grow up and become taller, but the actor who played his father was about 6'10", around there, so close to 7 feet tall. And again, the size here is about 14 and a half inches tall, or a little bit more, so very accurate. Uh, to what like a human scale would be versus a predator. So this is cool. Again, definitely must pre-order for me. Again, not sure what this material is here. Looks like a pleather material, so we'll see. Hopefully, in time, it's not gonna deteriorate. But I like the whole armor here. It's a mix of obviously metal and bones, so that's awesome to see. And again, more pics here. You have this device here, which used at the beginning of the movie on deck, to pretty much like hold him the ground as he orders his brother to cut his head off. Yeah, I mean, fantastic. You see the profile here, shot of the mask. This thing looks awesome. It almost looks like they blended like a bone in the metal of the mask. It's awesome. I like the details here on the side of his face. And he has like almost like a spider design here with small mandibles, which is cool. Yeah, cannot wait to see this one in hand. Obviously, supposed to release in about a year and a half from now, so next year in 2027, between January and June. So I think this one is gonna be very cool for the collection. Obviously, being a huge Predator fan, uh, not a big fan of the design of deck. I've made that clear in the other videos, but this one is a must. If you enjoy Predators, this one, it's gonna be sick in your display. So yeah, this is pretty much the accessories. You have an extra hand here. You see pretty much from the end of the movie when he gets poked by Deck. I'm not sure if these are die cast. I'm pretty sure they're plastic. And yeah, this is pretty much what comes with the figure. So you have the awesome cape right here, the sword, a few hands, obviously removable mask, and two interchangeable mandibles, and you have movable eyes, which is pretty much standard nowadays. So as usual, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about this release. Are you gonna pre-order this one? Again, it's pretty expensive, about 400 and some dollars, but I think it's worth it, in my opinion at least. The design is very cool. Plus, they use like a brand new, it's called a brand new body. Pretty much everything is brand new on this figure, minus the base, which we have seen on other figures. So, yeah, as usual, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, give me a like, and see you soon on the next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye bye.